a broadcast about the HushPuppi pre-trial update. To my YouTube fans, a lot of things have changed with me on social media. I have stepped my foot down. I will not be disrespected anymore on social media. If I have to do something in Yoruba, I'll do it in Yoruba because I don't want people who can speak Yoruba to hear it. Okay? I'm a journalist. You need to respect my work. If you don't want to respect my work and you want to continue abusing me or distracting my work, I stop it and I go to another platform. Just minutes ago, I was trying to do a broadcast on Instagram, and people said I should leave the comments open so that you guys can comment and I can see your feedback. But no, some people came there to network, greeting each other and so on and so forth. And I'm very touchy now. One person makes a mistake, the whole 500,000 carries it. All right. I have about 400,000 people following me on Instagram. So I cut the broadcast and I brought it to YouTube. People don't like YouTube because it takes a lot of their data. I don't care anymore. If you want my information, you do it because I'm leaving news, journalism. I've said that millions and millions of times. Okay, I'm going into teaching young people now. I'm teaching 6 young journalists and students how to become journalists and how to post. They created the rest of Nigeria for that. The rest of Nigeria is on Instagram and the rest of Nigeria is on Facebook. It's a new platform for news. Okay, other than that, I said I'm going to governance and entrepreneurship next year, by the end of this year. So the only thing left for me are 2 trials. Idumucho Ogboko trial starts in September. Same thing with the Hush Puppy trial. That's on Tuesday, the 27th of July. The Hush Puppy trial is a trial that the government does not want you to know about because they don't want it covered. It makes Nigeria look bad on a huge scale. So before this, I've been the one primarily giving you the updates. Myself, Sahara Reporters, Premium Times, and sometimes Cable NG. Everybody else just reports what the others report. But I'm actually covering the trial. I'll be dialing into the system. Okay, there's a PACES system, the United States Federal Court phone-in system, which they created because of coronavirus. And because of that, they decided that reporters, lawyers, anyone that wants to witness this trial can actually dial in if they have an access code. We journalists usually have an access code to get in. And I'm in Nigeria, and I just want to give you a synopsis of the trial, what's going to happen during that time. And I started by saying something about the fall of the Gucci billionaire, an article written by Evan Ratliff. Evan is an American journalist. You can Google him, you'll see him on Wikipedia. He's an American journalist that actually contacted me early this year around March to see if I could talk to him about the Hush Puppy case. So at the end of the day, I did have a meeting with him. I also met with quite a few journalists. We did Zoom meetings, we did live videos, we did a lot. And so that being said, what is going on is we wanted to share information because a lot of people don't really know what's going on. They don't know what happened. And many of the people in Nigeria really don't know because, they can only follow the Nigerian media who have been told by the government not to carry the hush puppy thing. So I just want you guys to know, all right? I want you guys to know that the information I'm giving you is one of my last in journalism. I'm ending investigative journalism in December. I actually do want to go into governance, and I also want to go into entrepreneurship, do something else. You know what I mean? Um, Let us start this way. Hush Puppy is Raymond Abbas, and the information I have is very, very bad. Very bad, very bad. I'm going to share a lot of things with you so that you can pretty much know what's happening. I canceled Instagram, and people are trying to find out where the broadcast is now, okay? Let me just do this. This is a handful of a broadcast I'm about to do. I don't know how many journalists in Nigeria do exactly what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Come out disrespecting me. Um, okay. I have a zero tolerance policy. I'm not going to entertain any more bullshit. First of all, a lot of people heard that HushPuppi was arrested in Dubai. Shortly after he was arrested in Dubai, I told you that he was already whisked to the United States. And most of you didn't believe me because, of course, you don't believe me on anything until it happens. And then you say, oh, Kemi was right. Well, when he got to America, he was moved from a Shannon prison to MCC, Metropolitan Correction Center in Chicago. And after that, he was moved out of that prison to the U.S. Marshals. The U.S. Marshals are an elite squad of law enforcement agencies that really carry the duty of very, very dangerous fugitive. You can Google U.S. Marshal. The story that Evan Ratliff ended up writing for Bloomberg, Business Week. Bloomberg is a financial magazine in America. You can Google Bloomberg. There are different areas of Bloomberg. They even have a television channel. It's all financial. Same with the Wall Street Journal, financial. Arts and entertainment, we had a meeting together. We Zoomed. So basically, I'm in a team of 6 different media houses in America. As reporters, we're all working together to cover the case, and I am the one in Nigeria. Sahara reporters will also be in the case, not in our team, but on their own. And Premium Sense have been sending updates as well as Cable NG. People like Punch and other newspapers and other media outlets, I don't know how they're going to cover it. They're probably going to cover it through the newswires. So you need to know what a newswire is. A newswire is just a central place sending updates. Like CNN, goes with the newswires too. They might have a reporter there. The U.S. federal courts has a system called PACER. That's how I've been covering Woodbury's case through Evan Ratliff. You dial into the PACER system, PACER. You put your access code, and you're in the courtroom. You can listen. You can listen into the judges, the lawyers, everybody, even the defendant. And PACER was started because of, I'm sure they had it before, but mostly because of coronavirus now. Reporters have to get in and hear with their own ears. So who is Raymond Abbas? Based on Evan Ratliff's story, the meetings we had, and all the information gathered so far, this story came out. And I wanted to just recap the story and what the final stuff was, because you don't know. All right, what the FBI, the FBI, the Secret Service, and all law enforcement agencies, remember this is a U.S. trial. HushPuppi committed the same offenses in other countries, but the U.S. is convicting him first. They're trying to. So authorities are saying that Raymond Abbas, aka HushPuppi, perfected a simple internet scam, the Yahoo thing, and laundered millions of dollars. Remember when I told you that HushPuppi can't hack one damn computer? I told you, right, that he was just the one moving the money up and down the place. HushPuppi laundered a lot of money. Who was hacking the computer? The good hackers. When I say good hackers, there's some guys who are doing a lot of the hacking. They're good because they actually emptied a lot of corporate accounts. Okay, they were that good, and now they all have to pay. As a Nigerian journalist, his past says a lot about his digital swagger. Okay, and the kind of stories that get told online. Evan says for Raymond, the Instagram influencer. I don't know why they were calling him an Instagram influencer, because he might have carried, he calls himself the Gucci master. He buys Gucci stuff with the money he allegedly stole from other people. Gucci bags, Gucci outfit, Gucci this, Gucci that. But he was not an ambassador for Gucci. Gucci never recognized him. Even with all the money he flashed, Gucci never posted on his page. Nothing. Ray HushPuppi was his nickname. Some called him HushPuppi, some Hush, or the billionaire Gucci master. His birthdays online were always a time of reflection. You guys know that, right? When HushPuppi is doing birthday, he'll have it online, he'll say everything, he'll pray, but he was actually allegedly stealing money. So he liked that extravagance. They arrested him at his apartment in Palazzo Versace, Dubai. That apartment has a private pool, hot tub, everything. And typically, HushPuppi posts on Instagram, everything that we need to see. He had 2 million followers, and his followers were real followers. They were not purchased. And he featured himself smiling in front of all these cars, which you guys know, the Rolls Royce and the Ferraris. Also, he likes to sit in the private jets, walking into them. His photographer, the guy that they arrested, they released that one. That's the one taking all the pictures of him entering private jet, exiting private jet, leaving designer stores, Hermes, Fendi, Louis Vuitton. He was always flawless in his looks. You guys know that about HushPuppi. Never wore the same outfit twice. God knows I've worn the same outfit 4 times in this Nigeria. He never. At the end of this broadcast, I want to end this broadcast by 4 o'clock. I'm going to actually let you guys ask me questions. Now, in 2019, there were questions about how much money that HushPuppi really had. And I could just tell you one thing is that this was the year after I begged him for money. And people were saying when I said I wanted $260,000 for my treatment for 1 year in a facility to treat PTSD, they told me $260,000. Do you remember HushPuppi actually had the money and was tying his shoes with that $260,000 on the floor? People said it was fake money. It wasn't real. It was real. It was real. And that's the problem. None of that money was fake. There were questions about how money he actually had and how he acquired it. Okay, he was born in Nigeria. You guys know he was born here in Nigeria. And the Instagram presence turned HushPuppi into a celebrity. He became known around all the biggest names in pop culture. Okay, HushPuppi always appeared on his social media pages with pop stars like Davido, Wizkid, soccer players on English clubs like Manchester City and Chelsea. Those ones did not know the source of his wealth. It became rumors. How did he make all this money? All the Nigerian blogs would call him Big Boy. Big Boy, online term for a fraudster or a Yahoo boy. HushPuppi, the big boy. And that he struck it rich and he showed it off and this and that. His mother said he showed off too much stuff. His mother told him to stop showing stuff off. He blocked his mother on Instagram. You can block people anywhere you want on social media. Then when you block their phone number in your phone, they can't get in touch with you again. He blocked his own mother, who said he was showing too much off. Anyway, he always just said they were jealousy, haters, disappointed at their own lives, and they wanted to bring him down. He had that mentality. Now, remember when HushPuppi had his 37th birthday? Before heading off to the party that they were doing in his honor at the Dubai Burberry store, Burberry had a party in his honor. He paused to acknowledge the fans who supported him on the journey from hustling as a kid in Lagos to being a global influencer. Remember what he wrote? As I turn a year older today in my 30s, I want to celebrate all of you. Da, 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 da. Okay. Posted a photo of himself in a blue tracksuit, standing in front of one big Rolls Royce. You guys remember that? Those of you mostly I've never met, spoken to, or anything, but I've been strong supporters. I want you to know that I appreciate you. HushPuppi, we do giveaways for 5,000 naira. Some people question the giveaways. They said, HushPuppi, with all the billions you have, you're giving giveaway of 5,000. A lot of celebrities have giveaways in Nigeria. Some of those giveaways, some celebrities give 100,000, 50,000, whatnot. I generally don't do giveaways. Okay, one, I don't have money to give away. I need money for my media. Okay, and giveaways are also a way of buying fan loyalty. You know, they need fan loyalty, they do giveaways. At the end of the day, he did 5,000 naira giveaways. HushPuppi once came to Nigeria. The woman that sell beans and bread to him on credit, he gave her 5,000 naira, and he's a billionaire. They asked him to fix the street on his street. He didn't do it. He just like, people didn't understand why he had so much money and he couldn't even help his own community. Now, let me just tell you this. Daddy Freeze went to Dubai, right? Daddy Freeze was questioned as well. But there was no need to question Daddy Freeze. They had dinner. They talked at length about everything: haters, religion, and family. See, Daddy Freeze is like me. A journalist travels somewhere, and there's somebody in that place you travel to that you need to see and interview. Like when I went to Abuja a month ago, first time in Abuja, about almost 2 months ago, NTA interviewed me there. I was trying to interview some stars, some celebrities. You know, you want to take that opportunity. So when Freeze interviewed him at dinner, and the story of money came up, he said he always makes charitable contributions to charities. Okay, but those contributions he makes, we never saw it on the feed, you know? He said his heart is pure and I do a lot of good on social media. Well, at least he gives 5K as giveaways. He made it look as if, you don't have to know I'm giving people money, okay, because I'm a charitable person. When something good happens to me, I know it's because I did good. Not because somebody promised me money, but that I didn't work for, or money I didn't deserve. And all the time he was saying that to Freeze. Nobody knew that he didn't work for that money. Sure, you guys are listening to me. So many blogs in Nigeria, printed his appreciation in full. All right. The very next day after that, Tammy Abraham, that English striker, football player, who just started with Chelsea, posted a photo of HushPuppi on his page, captioning it, "Happy birthday to my big bro for yesterday." Around that same time, HushPuppi was given a guided tour of his home. That's the same time he was giving that tour to Daddy Freeze. Okay, Daddy Freeze is a radio OAP, popular Nigerian radio personality. Freeze was doing that interview for a reason. You know that MTV Cribs thing? They go to Star's house, they look at their house. Give us a tour of your house. We always like that crib thing. Remember when Wizkid was upcoming? And Wizkid gave us a tour of P Square's twin house, those two blocks of houses. Remember that in 2010? So that was what Freeze was doing. While Freeze was filming, they wandered through the penthouse. Abbas shows off his clothes, his sneaker collections, went to the garage to see the Rolls Royce and the Ferraris. He had 4 jacuzzis in the house, a sauna, a private pool. Let me see. The apartment cost a lot, hundreds and thousands of dollars a year. HushPuppi be like, what did I do to deserve this fortune? Oh, what type of work is consummate with the riches of private jets and $5,000 handbags? In Evan's story, he continues to say that the billionaire Gucci master had all these answers to questions, and so did the FBI. Answer that will form the basis for the case I'm about to cover, starting on Tuesday, the 27th of July. United States of America versus Raymond Olorunwa Abbas. This criminal case was filed in a California court. It's a federal case, so forget the state. They filed it in California. 3 days after his dinner with Daddy Freeze, the government alleged that HushPuppi found another reason to celebrate. Another reason to celebrate. The federal indictments were long. God damn, I couldn't even read all that stuff. According to the federal indictments, his co-conspirator, he has somebody that was arrested too. His co-conspirator in the major whatever. You see, HushPuppi was living in the house. They had a war room, a room where all the computers were. They seized almost 45 laptops and phones and stuff. That room is where they were all doing Yahoo. It's like all those people that worked for him, because 12 people were arrested with him. Some were released, some were not. Some were released on bail and they fled Dubai. So if you say that any of HushPuppi's friends left Dubai and they came home, they live in Lagos, some of them fled. They have cases. So they can't enter Dubai again. They will not. Because they know that they can be handed to the US authorities anytime as evidence. So at the end of the day, his co-conspirator, Alomari, I know a lot of you hear about Alomari. On October 15, 2019, HushPuppi received a wire transfer for $922,857.60. It was sent by a New York law firm. The money that was meant to be payment to one of his clients who refinanced a piece of real estate at Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank is a bank in America. That client refinanced that piece of real estate. So they had these lawyers, right? The real estate lawyers that were taking care of that. The paralegal in that law firm, the paralegal is one of the employees in the law firm. They identified her name as KC, trying to protect her. All right. KC emailed to confirm where the wire money should be sent. She received a fax telling her to direct the payment to Chase instead. And then she called a phone number on that fax to confirm the details. And when everything seems to match up, she initiated the transfer and sent the money. Almost $1 million. And in truth, everything did not match up. It looked like it matched up. This is where you come up with phishing. Okay, it's phishing, guys, not phishing. You guys are calling it phishing in Nigeria. The Yahoo word for tricking somebody into sending money to you, after you've copied their own details. Everything seemed to match, but it was not. The fax and the phone had come not from even Casey's client, not from the person that financed the real estate, but according to court documents, it came from somebody in HushPuppi's team, perhaps HushPuppi himself. That person inserted themselves in the middle of the transaction. That is what phishing is about. They call it a business email scam or business email compromise, BEC attack. A lucrative, varied, and elusive scam that government claims HushPuppi and his co-conspirators executed around the world. Different companies, different everything. And you guys are praising him like he's coming home, Abby. BEC scams are becoming very difficult to crack. Very, very difficult to crack or to even stop. Okay, that Chase account, that KC lady was trying to get the money wired to their client. More than a third of that money was wired to an account at the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. That's my former bank in Canada, CIBC. So somebody was in the Canadian end. Sure you understand? Who was the person on the Canadian end of the BEC? Well, When they moved the money to different bank accounts, on October 17, 2019, HushPuppi said they allegedly sent an image, of the $396,000 transfer. That money was sent to a Canadian American from Toronto. The person is a Canadian American. His name was Galeb Alomari. That's Alomari. When I say Alomari, the government is saying Alomari and HushPuppi were partners in so many BEC scams. The government says Alomari, Abbas, and a loose online group. It was terrible. Oh God, a loose online gang. As Evan said it of Bloomberg Business Week in the story, when you see someone is loose online confederation of other figures. Well, these guys were using Gmail of all mails, not even secured emails, so the FBI could see everything. This group consisted of one North Korean state-sponsored hacker. North Korean state-sponsored hacker. Can you believe it? This person targeted hundreds of millions of dollars in payouts from businesses, banks, including more than $100 million from one single Premier League soccer club. Person that was taking picture with Chelsea player was even stealing from Premier League. More than 100 million from one football club was taken out by all of them. A state-sponsored hacker, that's North Korean, is used for bad things. If North Korea has a state-sponsored hacker, those are those guys that will hack into the US systems of anything and anything. When you now include them being from North Korea, I'm in pain, please, my hand. This is the hand. See the bones showing? Osteoarthritis, and I have carpal tunnel syndrome. I'm really in pain. Those North Korean hackers make it become a national security issue. Because they're from North Korea, they become a national security issue. So HushPuppi is not going anywhere very soon. Basically, HushPuppi went to merge with the enemies of America to be helping them hack businesses. America is not going to leave HushPuppi. Ó má dàbí pé mo parọ́ bí eré bí àwàdà. Ó lè kú sẹ́wọ̀n, ìtò ṣe yìí pọ̀. Gbogbo evidence dẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀. So successful BEC scams, so like the ones that Alomari and HushPuppi did, and they're accused of, it's like a magic trick. According to Evan Ratcliffe, Evan said that basically the lady, that lady Casey, the paralegal in the Abbas case, when they received that 900 and something thousand, what she does is she receives an invoice. It's the same method that OBOKK used with that British company, and he was getting 1 million, 2 million, 3. He was sending invoices to them until the money reached 11 million, and he decided, let's catch him now. Obi was making money, was spending money in Lagos. He was acting as if he was some mentor. They were featuring him on Forbes magazine. Oh, everybody, like Naira Marley says. So you receive this invoice, you log to a payment system, and you send off what seems like a routine payment to a client. Then, bam, the money is gone. Having seemingly evaporated, the money just disappeared to the intended destination. So that client of Casey, who's supposed to receive $922,000, that one did not notice the money was missing until November. Casey thought he had sent the money to that person. That person thought the money was in their account. They have not checked their alert too. There are times like that we don't check alerts right away. But when you're talking about an alert of $922,000, almost $1 million, client gone safe, rich people. Maybe he was busy, maybe he was doing something, but he did not notice the money was gone till October. So from that Chase account, more than a third of the money was wired to Canada, and Alomari collected it. If you notice what's happening, The $922,000 and the $396,000, it's a fraction. If you look at that fraction, it looks like Abbas was keeping 70%, Alamari was taking 30%. The ways this hacker works, some people will get percentages, okay? Let me fast forward you, but we're going to come back because the information that I'm about to give you explains it better, okay? Fast forward, the way they were caught had to do with some COVID money, okay? In Donald Trump's account for the United States Health and Human Services, they had some money allocated to COVID, 100 million, I believe, $100 million. So Alamari will do all the hacking, I believe, or whoever the other guy, the North Korean guy. When they hacked, in this case, the 100 million was supposed to be 70-30, like the other one. 30 to the hacker, 70 to HushPuppi. HushPuppi's team is a lot of people working for him. I don't know how they do their cuts, but 70 for him, 30, like the other one, the one with Casey and the money that went to CIBC. But unfortunately, HushPuppi decided to keep all the money and double cross Alamari. This is exactly what happened. And those guys went to notify the FBI because he cheated them. I believe those guys were tired and said, this is it. We're not doing this anymore. We're going to tell. They were pissed off. Okay, so now remember that money, that's $396,000 that went to Canada. Alamari messaged a third person, possibly the North Korean guy, to check that the money has arrived in Canada. Okay, when the transfer was confirmed, he messaged HushPuppi in Dubai. HushPuppi said, this was a message that we saw this stuff, they made it available for journalists. In the message, HushPuppi said, what's up, bro? Alamari message HushPuppi. HushPuppi said, sup, bro? Abbas responded, confirm confo you sent to me today. Alamari said, okay, that means confirm that the money, okay, came in. HushPuppi now said, money came in, question mark. He said, yes, for Canada now. Oh yeah, give me screenshots. Alamari promised a screenshot to show HushPuppi that the money has arrived in Canada. He was on a plane that had just landed in Canada. He said he will send the screenshot as soon as signal is better. Sure you get? As soon as network is better. If you're on the plane, there's no network. When that plane lands, I've noticed that if you land, when I went to Abuja, when the plane landed from Lagos into Abuja, the minute that plane touched on the runway, I turned on my data. Even though they don't want you turning on anything because it can affect the flight data. It can affect the flight data stuff. I turned my data on and everything was coming in, notifications and all that. By the time the plane slows down, taxiing to the terminal, you can be messaging the cab driver outside or the person waiting for you. We have landed. Oh. Okay, so Alamari said he was going to show the screenshots to HushPuppi. All right. But that confirmation never came. You know what happened? The FBI approached Alamari at the airport when he got off the plane and they placed him under arrest. This is how the whole thing ended. Even though allegedly, this is what I heard, that Alamari had already, and it's not Alamari, but the North Korean guys that they double-crossed, that HushPuppi double-crossed, already contacted authorities about this ongoing scam. Every day for the thief, for the owner. Even the thief gets tired, or the group of thieves. So when they snitched on him, Alamari was caught coming off the plane. All right. It's both of them. So a lot of these emails, you see them on your email every day. It doesn't raise red flags. Okay, Amazon said I should update my payment system. I don't have Amazon. This one said you should update it. I don't have it. Okay, Bank of America said you should update your account. I have Bank of America, but the bank will not send any kind of messages like that. They've used Nigerian banks now. First Bank wants to update. GT says you should update your BVN. Nobody will tell you to update your BVN. No bank will send you anything. We have updated it because we went to the bank, we registered and all. Nothing needs to be updated. Don't fall for BEC scams. Unfortunately, many Nigerians are under arrest now for BEC. Those two guys that own that club in Lagos, Tanya Omotayo's husband, all of them were arrested for allegedly BEC. BEC. If you think people like Obi Kubana are doing Yahoo, Okay, people that are actually making real money and struggling and sweating for what they are. How is it they're able to travel up and down the world? It must be very stupid to be even comparing Obi's wealth with. Obi has been rich and he has worked hard for all that stuff in the past. So you now see his mother's funeral throwing money up and down. You now say, oh yeah, you didn't know he was rich before. Go and find out about people and stop placing them in the same category as all these thieves, high-tech thieves. If the internet was available, would BEC even have happened? Every one of us see these emails every day. You should avoid them. The small Yahoo that HushPuppi did to make it, the big one, that first one he did was inside his house there, you know, in Lagos. And that's the one that carried him to Malaysia. And then all the boys that were involved in Alibaba in South Africa, that one big Yahoo that he stole money from one company and he got away with it. And then Woodbury took all the money and fled because they wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him because he had the money and he wouldn't share it. He fled to Dubai to go and live with HushPuppi. When he got to Dubai, he now sent money back to everybody in South Africa and settled them. All those guys over down there, Opa 6, Aremo Gucci, all those Nigerians in South Africa, they will tell you now. You see the BEC that was inside HushPuppi, or inside Woodbury's phones. All those BEC emails, that's what's making Woodbury, you know, almost committing suicide in prison now. He's going through a lot of depression now. He did not delete any of them. Chukokoro, greed. He carried his phone to Dubai to go out with HushPuppi and work for HushPuppi, but he forgot to delete those BEC. Now those phones are with the FBI. His own trial started already. It was delayed twice. We went to hearing in April, we went in May, we went in June. It's now on my birthday, I think, August 6th, the next hearing. Guess what? They added more lawyers to it. Okay, now he has 2 very good Chicago lawyers. He's in MCC, Metropolitan Correction Center in Chicago. HushPuppi was there too at one point. The 2 lawyers are very good, but they wanted the postponement twice because of the devices. They wanted to see everything that was found. The information they found on the devices of Woodbury, there's no way around it. Woodbury should just do a plea deal. I've said it. Woodbury must do a plea deal and just plead deal for 10 years in prison, like Obi. Obi was facing 30 years. He plead deal. Okay, I stole your money, blah, blah, blah. They gave him so many conditions. You can't be near a bank. You can't open an account here. You can, and then they'll deport him to Nigeria after that. His money, 243 million, inside his first bank accounts in Lagos. The EFCC garnished that. We don't even know who keeps that money. But it's in the EFCC law. If you're on trial in another country for stealing money, the government has the right to take it. Well, the money didn't reach me, it just goes into the government's treasury. So Woodbury should plea deal for 10 years because it's a waste of time. Okay, apart from being arrested next to HushPuppi, which jury is going to let him off, or which judge is going to let him off? They found South African BEC scams that he did inside his phone. You have stolen money from somebody, delete all the evidence, you kept it in your phone, as if it's like a picture, Abby, because you want to steal more money from that person. That's what's called greed. Okay. Woodbury's mother lives down here in Lekki. Okay, you saw the Range Rover he bought for her. It's there. The house is there, big mansion. The money the woman has, she has blown that money now on getting him these 2 lawyers. The lawyers are very good lawyers. I know them. And these lawyers are going to try and get him off, but they can't succeed. They already have a proffer for them. If you want to read the proffer, okay, it's when the client sits down with the FBI or their lawyers. Just go and read it. Go to the Rest of Nigeria. Let me see. I have it here on the Rest of Nigeria on Instagram. Go look at it. Scroll down. My interns run that page. I train them. There should be a picture of Woodbury in Dubai standing outside a pier. I did the proffer thing. I sent it to them. So the proffer will be done, but there's no way. Evan did a great story. He interviewed me for 2.5 hours. I discussed a lot with the 2 girls at A&E, the Wall Street Journal. Many, you know, as a Nigeria reporter, they just needed to come and hear my own version of stuff. This is a person that's telling me to apologize if I can get money. I didn't get the money. You never know who's going to be in your story. You never know tomorrow. That ritualist or whatever he calls himself is the one that said Yabo Joe was going to die. Look how he died. He died 2 weeks ago. Say someone is going to die because she's doing her job trying to protect a young girl that was allegedly assaulted sexually. He died. Look at Obama, DMW. All Obama did all day long on Twitter is to yap Wizkid FC. He was always after them. You see the post he made on Instagram? Bro, your album is whack. He was describing Made in Lagos, telling Wizkid that his album is whack. You fall your own hand, bro. It was just hate. Obama was full of hate. His album is whack. Essence by Wizkid and Thames now cracked the 100, Billboard 100. No Nigerian song has cracked that. There are Nigerian songs that have been on top of Billboard, but in that Billboard 100, that's the first song. Wizkid's featuring Thames. That Thames girl can sing. And it's that her hook that got that song really big. Wizkid should thank her a lot. And she thanked Wizkid on Arise that grace came to her. Almost every American is vibe. I saw Snoop Dogg vibe into it. I saw Justin Bieber vibe. You know that part? Every star, every Oyinbo star, they're all liking it now. And they're going on tour. You are seeing the album for you. Where are you now? Where's Obama now? 6 feet under. HushPuppi. Beg Linda Ikeji first. Where are you now? It's the same journalist now reporting your demise. Don't know tomorrow. Anyway, let me just finish and wrap up this broadcast. I don't play with my work, okay? I don't have a lot of money. All right, the little bit of money I have, I've used it for a lot of my work because I'm independent. You guys refuse to help me donate to, some people donated. I thank them all. But not like your big brother Niger Stars that you come and do GoFundMe and everything. I'm going to sell American cookies and iced tea. I'm going to brand my snacks in Nigeria. And I'm going to get into governance. I want to get a lot to do with tourism. I want to work with President Buhari in tourism and social media. I want to be in the board, the Twitter board. They need people like me in there. I'm trying to meet President Buhari. He's the leader. Meanwhile, Kanu is telling you he's dead. If you like, you can go and be doing your Biafra and Yoruba Nation. The leaders of your movements, look at what happened to them now. Both of them have passports from other countries. You're following people that have passports from other countries. Me that I'm sitting here, I can apply for US passport anytime. I've been eligible 10 times. But I'm still renewing green card because I want to be a Nigerian. I'm patriotic. I don't need anything from the US. If I do, my kids are American. I go there, I can see them, whatever. I love my country. You guys are following the wrong people. So one would expect that when you get into larger and larger and larger amounts of money that are exchanging hands, there will be some kind of process that will require secondary authorization before these monies gets into the BEC thieves. That's what a lot of banks and a lot of people are trying to do now. Once they get into the recipient's email, this is why many banks have refused to use free email. You see CIBC, the money that HushPuppi sent to Alamari in CIBC, or he sent to himself, whatever, that was my bank in Canada. When I closed my account and I wanted my balance sent to me in Nigeria, my God, they said they can't take my email. I must open one with Proton. I opened the Proton email right on the phone with them. I needed my money, $4,000. If on the other hand, if they compromise the sender, they might send a follow-up invoice with a fake email that appears at first glance to match the one of the payee, or create an entire company and website. They've done that now many times in BEC. They will clone your company website and will create their own. So when they're sending money to your company, okay, it's not actually coming to your company, it's going to their own because it looks the same. So to the rest of us, we can think that a corporate employee sending millions of dollars to the wrong bank accounts is a dumb employee. No, these attacks are so realistic. Most people don't give it a second thought when they are getting this crazy fake emails, all right? Whenever Ratcliffe was talking to this guy, Hassold, he was saying the same. Because when you're involved in payments like this, you see a lot of emails every single day. So no matter the flavor of the BEC scams, okay, generally begins with someone hacking into a corporate email account. That's what OB did when he hacked into their own. He had sent that fake email to the CEO of that British company. That one was driving. When he got to the traffic light, he decided to check the email on a phone. If he checked it on a laptop, he would have seen that the email will reroute to a fake website, but he was checking it on a phone. So he logged in. Obi got his password. So Obi was inside this guy's email. So anytime this guy was ordering money to be transferred as invoices to people and clients, it was Obi sending it. Imagine. That's what they call phishing. Stop calling it phishing, it's phishing. Now, they say once they get inside these emails, the perpetrators, they don't steal anything right away. They want to be known. They want to see the pattern that the CEO uses to order for money. Instead, they will start forwarding those copies of incoming and outgoing email to themselves. They then wait. They watch it for a number of weeks or months, looking for details of certain payments that are going out. When they've studied it well, okay, they look at the way the CEO is communicating with clients. That's what Hassold was telling Evan Ratcliffe at Bloomberg. Okay, so as soon as the perpetrator in the dark corner of the internet, you see, Obi was saying he praises all the youth in their own corner of the internet, his own dark corner. As soon as they see, you know what I mean, money coming, you see an invoice coming in or out, they now use that intelligence to insert themselves into an actual payment that's supposed to be due. From there is where the scam can work two ways. If the scammer has if the scammer has compromised that email of the intended recipient, which is what they do, they have to have compromised it. They just create a similar invoice, and that's what Obi was doing. And that invoice will look real, and the money will go out. You know what I mean? BEC started about 6 years ago. They surpassed all forms of internet fraud. The FBI reports that almost 20,000 scams against American businesses alone in 2020. And the losses was $1.8 billion. So the variety of BEC's crimes can make up a lot. So Crane Hassold, this is the Senior Director of Threat. Okay. Threat Research at Agari. If you guys know Agari Data, it's a cyber defense company. We need more of those in Nigeria. Agari Data, even though Hassold owns Agari Data, he's also a former FBI analyst. He likes to define BEC as a response-based impersonation attack. That's what it is. So somebody will impersonate you. Now they impersonate entire companies, posting legitimate businesses to trick people into giving them their money. Alone. So no matter what flavor that BEC scams, it begins like that. This is the story of HushPuppi. So he has to prove. Well, let me tell you about the lawyers. The lawyers that he had before, Jill Pisetsky and Vicky Protobeski, they're good lawyers, so don't get me wrong. He fired them. Ew. My hand, I beg you to pray for me. Can I turn on the comments? Let me see. So I can hear your feedback and you can ask me questions. Enable flash, mute microphone, save highlights. How can I enable chat though? Enable chat. Oh, this thing has filters, self. Wow. I don't know I can turn this off. Enable. I don't think you can chat with me. Just leave comments, man, when I finish. Let's see. Vicky Protobeski and Jill Pisetsky are good lawyers. However, they started with this. HushPuppi, he was kidnapped. He's an influencer. He sells real estate. He's this, he's that. They were promoting influencer. Nobody wants to hear that now. Where are the real estate deals? Where? That area was even worse. So HushPuppi fired them. If HushPuppi gets out, it'll be because one judge is very sympathetic to the way they transferred him. The United Arab Emirates has no extradition treaty with the United States of America. You can't extradite a UAE citizen to America. But HushPuppi was a third country person. He was carrying a St. Nevis and Kitts passport, didn't have a Nigerian passport anymore. He bought the St. Nevis and Kitts passport. You can pay $150,000. Invest in real estate or something in St. Nevis and Kitts. Maybe that's why they were calling him a real estate person. HushPuppi may have invested in real estate in St. Nevis and Kitts to get that passport. You can get a passport for $150,000. Okay, from some countries, Dominica is one of them. Desani got hers that way. Alison Desani Madueke, and she's even a commissioner in the government. Okay, rich people can do it. You see the adverts now, Vanatel, they will give you, come and invest in our country. Bring $130,000. Well, how much is $130,000 to HushPuppi? HushPuppi probably went there and invested in some real estate there, bought houses, bought this, bought that, got their passports. That passport allows them to travel 140 countries in the world without visa. That's where he's a citizen of now. So him being a fugitive on the run, because the AFCC said they want him for some $2 billion that he laundered for somebody in Nigeria. He laundered for a politician. They mentioned so many politicians' names, and those politicians have denied him ever laundering money for them. But EFCC shall want him, shall. So if he's deported from America after 30 years that he's facing, he probably won't be deported to Nigeria. He'll be deported to the country where he's carrying the passport, St. Nevis and Kitts. So at the end of the day, what I want to say is the new lawyers have not been announced. We don't know who they are. Okay, he's with the U.S. Marshals. The Marshals are in Colorado. They might be in California too, but I know nobody knows where the U.S. Marshals are. They are holding the most dangerous fugitives. Some of the people they are holding are killers, big cartel members from Mexico, Colombia, and all that. If you're with the U.S. Marshals, they say they live in the Rockies, underground. Hey, bunkers, underground bunkers. I wonder how HushPuppi feels or what he's going through now. By now, he has an American accent. He's been with them so long, 1 year now. Underneath the ground, they have house, they have cars, they have roads underneath us. No access to family, no access to anything. The way they brought him, extraordinary rendition, something activists really hate. They forced him and kidnapped him. That's what Pizeski was saying then. If this new lawyers promotes that whole thing about, oh, they took him out against his will, if they have that, then if a judge feels sympathetic on the way they brought him to America, extraordinary rendition, that judge can say, I'm dismissing the case because he was kidnapped. Okay, let him go. HushPuppi can't go back to Dubai. He can't go to Nigeria. He goes to St. Nevis and Kitts, and he gets to keep all his money, at least the money they haven't found. Some of the bank accounts are frozen. Some, the dollars, the money that they took from his house, I think it was $40 million cash. The Rolls Royce, everything that he sees, they'll reduce it to him. And he'll have to go and live a happy ever after life in St. Nevis and Kitts. But I don't know how he can live freely again. No. Nobody will have nothing to do with him. He wouldn't have opportunities anymore. He might have all the money in the world, but his money won't buy shit. If HushPuppi's case is dismissed in America, other countries are coming right for him. Malta, he stole a lot of money from their government. The president addressed the nation on the money. Imagine your president addressing your nation and saying, our money is missing. HushPuppi did it. Imagine. Because that one election, when election time comes, but it's not his fault. These guys were good. So at the end of the chapter, I told you he tried to get into church accounts in Nigeria. He told the hacker, no, don't touch the church accounts. Adeboye, Oyedepo, and Ibiyomi. That's why Ibiyomi was cursing him on the pulpit. Many of you didn't understand why that one was cursing. He said, the God that brought me here is the same God, so don't touch church accounts. Alone. Assuming they let him, because one judge thought that extraordinary rendition was bad, the FBI will appeal that case. They will not release him. Dismissed without prejudice. They will dismiss it with prejudice. It won't be without prejudice. They will start all over again. If they dare release him, the other countries will go for him. There's 6 more countries. Premier League in UK. HushPuppi should just plead, even when he pleads guilty, and he goes for 10 years instead of 30. When he leaves that 10 years, they send him to another country. So he can't really see outside the world anymore. Money is the root of all evil. He used it to destroy a lot of lives. I'm Dr. Kemi Olunoye, a pharmacist, journalist, and PR specialist. On this broadcast, I'm an investigative journalist in Nigeria. I'm close to retiring. Tired. I wish I can answer questions, but let me end this broadcast and start a new one and let you chat. Let's do the chat after, okay? So I'm going to end this now. Subscribe if you're not subscribing to me. Thanks for watching. So stand by because I'm going to start the next broadcast now for chats.